Yeah, we're here. Do you know what time it is?
Star-Lord's reactions to all Guardians using his toothbrush.
It's biscuit time. See?
Wait, you get those time biscuits? Dude, do they still taste alright?
Well, I'm not complaining. They're not bad. I don't mind them.
Oh, God. I haven't had them in ages. I mean, my blood sugar will probably go out the wazoo if I eat them, but... that's alright. Nice. And you got Envy there with you?
I sure do.
I'm calling it Envy.
One sec. I just realised that this top is very stretched. I need a scarf.
Top is very stretched.
My top is.
Oh, God. Poor thing.
Do I have a scarf here?
How in God's name would I know?
I don't think I do. Okay. One sec. Don't show too much chest, Brownie. Not safe for work. Alrighty.
Did something happen?
Oh, man. Well, now that we got sound, we can actually hear what I hear. I can actually talk to Brownie about shit now. And now that Brownie is slowly learning how to play Endless Legend, we're gonna talk about.
Yeah, that slowly 3-zip. Remember, although apparently, I was reading stuff. Apparently, the multiplayer is broken.
What's this?
In Endless Legend, the multiplayer is broken.
What do they mean by broken? Oh.
No, they just said it's broken. I didn't read too much more about it, but yeah, they just said it was broken.
So yeah,
it's a defender's game.
It probably is a little bit. But that's why you make it. That's why there's a lot of options.
You just gotta not rush like you can't Zerg rush in Endless Legend. You gotta take your sweet time, get some economy. You just don't understand the.
Oh, here we go.
Getting the economy. Just think, battle your way through it just because humankind rewards you in that regard.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of humankind, like I've enjoyed the game, but as I said, it's in its early stages, so it's not quite there yet as far as what I've noticed is what it does wrong, and I don't know how they're gonna fix it the more that I thought about it, is that let's say in Endless Legend, like you look at all the units and you get to your end game and there's maybe 1 or 2 units that you get like a giant or 2, but overall the late game is mainly about building upgrades and stuff like that. While in Humankind there are so many units and naval units and air units and that you just feel like that you just don't get access to because it comes too late in the game. Like in Endless Legend, you're like, if you don't get a giant because you can't get to the tech, you're like, yeah, fuck it, whatever, it doesn't matter. But if you can't fucking build like battleships when you're in the Navy and stuff, you get a little bit shitty about it.
I mean, I can understand it very slightly. Like, if you're stuck only building galleons and someone's got a frickin' aircraft carrier, I mean, if you look at that in today's scenario, an aircraft carrier is going to shit on a wooden ship. Let's not be frank at that.
It doesn't in Humankind.
Yeah, I know. Wait, the galleons actually win?
I think per resource they do. I think there's a minimum damage that each ship does, so it is quite possible. And I heard that there are some ships, I think it's the galleons, where they get bonuses if they're fighting on coastal, which then allows them to beat high tier ships.
Oh wow.
But yeah, one thing that Endless Legend does really well is, so even though there's more units in Humankind, you don't get to use a lot of them. Unlike in Endless Legend, where you have access to a lot of these units, and it's like each and you're not always going to get what you want, but I like the fact that you can like slowly integrate what you need, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
I like fantasy units a lot, so I love all these.
I still think tech needs some work.
Yeah, it's too streamlined.
I still think the races still need some a bit more flavor about them. But I mean, look, it's hard to do because of the error thing. But I think it's like some just all right. Yeah, this one just gives a little bit more influence. Gets a special building that gives influence. There's things in amongst that are really good. Like I was like looking up. I was watching up. Like I went from Goths. I was doing a run last weekend. I went from like Goths to Norse. Because I worked out I was on an island, and I just wanted the passive naval movement that you get passive with being a Norse thing.
Norse is awesome for that.
But that's quite good in itself. It's like if you go and become Norseman, you're going to get a nice passive that you can carry through the game. I like that. It's just some of the other passives are garbage.
Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, so they've got to focus on ships, but then you also gain its unique building is a harbour that boosts food production.
That's pretty good.
By a monstrous amount. Like there was some tiles where I was getting like plus 30 on food. And stackable with all the other harbour upgrades. So in there is some good shit, but there's some other ones that are just like, why would I ever pick it? Influence. You can get away with not having it because it's not like a resource that you really need to demand. I mean, once you get a couple of cities set up, you basically passively you pay. Yeah, I suppose that's the only thing. But what I find, the civic cost is like on a logarithmic bloody
it goes
graph
through the roof. You can't get anything.
It starts alright, and then all of a sudden it's just like, hang on, the Civic now costs 12,000 in.
Yeah, I know.
What the hell just happened here?
Yeah, it's a bit fucked.
And look, I'm going to the tech needs some more flavor to it, more diversity, more options, more do I select this as opposed to this for benefits and stuff like that? It needs something a bit more that really will help drive which way your civilization goes. Decisions you make at the start can have impacts later on. If you pick the Huns and you're getting movement, and then there's some tech that you can choose which gives you more movement, and all of a sudden you've got units that are crossing
I feel that the
countries in leaps and bounds. But yeah, it needs more flexibility because all that's happening is you click the text, you put them in the pipeline, and as they tick over, you just basically pipe whatever you get into each respective city, and you sit there and wait 60 turns until they're all done.
Yep.
Usually what happens is a whole heap of tech gets done again, and you've got a whole heap more crap to put in there as well. And God forbid if you've then got to fight a war. And look, one thing I do like about the war system is building units costs population.
Yeah, that was pretty cool because that means if you're going to lose population, you just make a unit, and then it's like
but and it also means that you've got to have a good balance between economic management and producing food to grow your population, whilst being a warmongering arsehole. I'd say it'll eventually come together, but there's still a fair bit of vanilla about it that doesn't like change the way you sort of play every time.
I feel that the tech, when you get the tech and learn it, it's very impactful. The issue is that if I need something, then chances are I'll be able to get it quite quickly. While in Endless Legend, if I need something, then something else goes without. Like, there's been times I'm like, oh fuck, I need this, and you're like, it's really tough decisions. Well, in humankind's like, fuck, I need this, and you're like, okay, click, bam, you're good to go.
Yeah.
I think it's just because science is so strong in that game that
Yeah.
like, even if you fall behind in science, it's just so easy to catch up. And just every time I play that game, my production can't keep up with the amount of science that I'm doing.
Yeah, that's true. I find I find like even if I manage to get Egyptians early and I'm in a pretty good production thing, I'll still have about 10 things in the pipeline.
Yeah, I know.
Regardless, and you're just like, because it's just
and that comes into what I was talking about. Where I feel like half the game is locked off. There's one of the upgrades is you can build anti-air defense, so that you could defend your bases against air strikes. But not only is it feels like a waste, because it's like, well, there's so much you want to build that's just taking time away from what's actually important. No one can build enough fucking airplanes to begin with. I've tried doing it. It's like, yeah, you can do like maybe do some damage to a district, but they're not that powerful that I can't see it unless the game is literally on endless. I don't think there is an endless mode. I think there's always an end limit. But yeah, unless you were doing like a 12-player human versus human game where like everyone was like unlimited turns, that's the only way I could see that becoming good.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, look. Hopefully, it'll eventually come together. But yeah, at the moment, it's good. Like if you've got nothing else to do, sure. But it's going to take a while before we get a bit more.
It's good gamers. The problem is it's a really good game, but it's not as good as Endless Legend, which is why we've been playing so much more of Endless Legend lately. Because Endless Legend everything is so characterful and different, and you like stuff, and there's lore to it, and there's just so much going on. Like, if they make Endless Legend 2, I really want there to be more units and better combat. Like, if there were amount of units and combat in Humankind in Endless Legend 2, it would be like so fucking good.
Yeah, I think a little bit more unit diversity would be good. I mean, yeah, we could turn this into a what would we like list of things, but
three faction units.
Yeah, but yeah, in its own way, the faction units do have their place because it means that you're either having to, they're structured around this is sort of how the race plays, which is fine, and you either have to supplement it with minor factions or steer into the corner. So it has its reasons, I suppose, but yeah, anyway, so just given the amount of just seeing that like the likes of Reddit, they're all there's actually a bit of a community and stuff like that. We're just trying to get some content out there in terms of just us talking about random crap about why we like Endless Legends and doing some rankings and stuff like that. And we're going to be doing a a 2-man endless stream against 15 computers.
Hopefully the computers kill each other off. But yeah.
Yeah, that too. And we're only like version 1. That'd be nice.
Kapaku for the
anyway, so we're gonna be the other go. But in the meantime, we're just gonna have a chat about this one. We're just gonna talk about minor factions.
Minor factions are good.
This is funnily enough one thing I really like about what Endless Legend does, and this is where some really nice variety comes in. Not massive, but you have probably your preferences and stuff like that. But there are minor factions as a default. Per region, depending on how many of their little bases there are. So, hang on, let's start from the start.
Very good, Ren.
Really explain this well, I know. So, if you've played Endless Legend, or you've seen it for the first time, you'll see that every the world map is divided into regions. Every region will have a different minor faction in it. And it'll either have 1, 2, or 3 little homes that the minor faction resides in per region. The way you can basically turn a minor faction into a helper for your race is you can talk to them and do a quest. You can pay them, or you can just straight out murder them. And the benefits they provide, it's subtle but really good. For each of the little houses that you pacify, you will get the same number of populations in the city in that region. And if you're lucky to get one with 3 and you pacify that, it basically means you're going to have an additional 3 population in that city, which, early game can be really good and a really good way to really get things moving. That's the passive thing. The other thing you can do is you can actually assimilate minor factions. You can assimilate up to 3 of them, and you get 2 benefits out of that. One, you get a particular unit model, which is basically what the minor faction looks like. So they actually become a unit that you can create in your army, upgrade, and do all that kind of stuff. They also have an assimilation effect that give you a empire-wide benefit, which can be additional science, additional gold, additional industry, vision, movement, fortification, lots of stuff. So they're like a subtle importance that you can ignore them and not give a crap about them, but they have a nice benefit, and there are some units that are okay. There's some that are you never use them, and there are some that
if you don't target them at all, they produce units. They can be really annoying, and they can attack your villages and shit.
Yes, that's the other thing. They can create roaming armies if you don't deal with them. So it's basically if you ignore them, you ignore them at your own peril.
And they all got their own lore and everything. So the thing is, these are not just like random like monsters that just hang around and you kill. These are literally like fucking races among themselves. They're not they're a minor faction. He plays the major factions, aka the bigger species in the world. But these ones are also sentient, and so that's why you could deals with them and induct them into your armies, or go to war with them, or ally with them. So yeah, they're not just there to be killed. They literally are what they say. They're just minor races that don't have the impact on the world that your race does. So yeah, each region has 1 to 3 minor factions, of which the starting region only ever has 1 of the minor faction, which sucks. But that's why when you expand, you want to try to get 1 with 3 minor faction villages. And you need to get language squares, otherwise you can only really fucking attack them.
Yeah, which if you play it right, can be efficient, but if you manage to pacify them, you don't have to rebuild their little cities. So
necrophages are never going to pacify them.
Yeah, that's true.
Someone said that necrophages, you don't even attack the minor villages. You just keep letting them spawn units to keep killing.
Oh, I suppose because you get food.
Yeah, so that's it. It's another reason why Endless Legend has a lot of different playstyles.
And whilst we'll do the races another time because Mark's been a bit lazy. So we're gonna rank and talk about the minor factions. You'll hear us talk about our favourite ones that we probably don't give a shit about. So yeah, which one do you want to start with, Mark?
Well, who we got first? Who the fuck? That's Nydia for. Let's have a look. So the first one is the Nydia. Now, cool as this bird thing looks, oh man, yeah, isn't? Yeah. So for every village of Nidia you get +5 initiative on all your units. And yeah, what do they have? So what else are they there? Flying unit, which is pretty damn good. What do they come with? They come with well, it doesn't matter what they come with, I don't care. But yeah, honestly, I loved the look of the unit, but goddamn, yeah, I'm not inducting these at all.
So
initiative is go first, isn't it?
Hey?
Initiative is your
So initiative, yeah. So initiative is speed. So let me just. Oh, I don't have any influence. Oh, that's not good. Yeah. So look, initiative is quite good. Whether it's going to make a big difference when your initiative is say 30 or 40 and getting an extra 3 or 4, who knows? That's if you at least get like say 2 Nidia towns and get like 10% bonus. I think late game the passive alone is good, especially when everyone's so big and striking first is going to be pretty helpful in some cases. But the unit itself, I've played with it. It really is weak as
it just
water.
dies instantly.
You have to remember the main damage unit is archers, and basically if they've got the bow, which basically is flying slayer, they're going to melt Nidia. But even just normal units like cavalry and infantry just walk up to it and just do a heap of damage to it. It really doesn't have any kind of tank or massive defense that actually.
Here we go. So it's the RPG. Okay, so wait, what the fuck? Okay. Okay, so their race is the Nidya, and they produce the Arpajuja. So, according to this, so they're fast, they move faster, they can fly, and they have a circular attack. So, override default attack only, allows to attack adjacent units with 50% of damage. How do they still feel like they do nothing? Like, it's a set of abilities. So, it has a long spear, which... What does a long spear do? But yeah, as I said, I've never really felt like it does a lot of damage. The problem is that you want to build these units, but generally, when you're building minor faction units, you're trying to get them to fulfill something that your current army can't do. And a lot of and the last thing that an army wants is a really fucking fragile unit that just instantly dies. Because chances are your army already has one of those. I know all the armies that I play has a ton of them. So the last thing I need is another unit that dies when you blow at them. So yeah. Like, good set of units. But as I say, I just don't find it that great. Like, chances are, just late game, it's just not going to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, look,
Range Slayer. So it has Range Slayer, and so it can get to Range Slayer. And what else does it get? It gets Cavalry Slayer. Okay, so Cavalry and Range.
I'd say the Range Slayer probably would be better because you'd want to hope that it could get to the archers and kill them pretty quickly. Cavalry Slayer. Maybe against certain races which are more horse oriented potentially, but doesn't really. It's really if you're going up against people with no range units. Oh yeah. Which is usually not going to happen.
So where to put him? I'm currently thinking. I don't. It's either B or C at this stage.
Yeah, I mean it's a meh unit. Let's not sugarcoat it. People probably if anyone actually does watch this, they'll probably start screaming at us. But prove us wrong, I suppose.
Actually, I went and clicked on view community rank, and I agree. I think it's funny. A lot of positions are going to be the exact same.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Oh, that'll be good to compare.
Oh yeah.
Um.
Poor Mr. Bird.
So, should we do this in order? You reckon of how it's all listed?
Yes. Well, the next guy is is it Burgundy?
Dorgashi.
Dorgashi. Okay, so this guy gives you plus. Talking about non-impactful. Actually, I say that. It's not, talking about. So we get the Dorgashi, who are. What are they riding? Some kind of lizard.
Yeah, it's definitely a cavalry unit.
So yeah. So basically, like the roving clans, it's a unit I don't get often. They give you bonuses to luxury resource, and to be honest, like it's good, but it's not game breaking. Like I feel that chances are luxury resource is not the biggest. Like they make a huge impact. Don't get me wrong, but chances are you're going to get enough from the reactors that you got, or you're just going to buy them off the stock market anyway. So
I think mid game is probably where you're going to feel the luxury resource benefit. When you start getting into into the adamantium, palladium, especially if you're playing with resources.
That's not a
resources.
That's not a luxury resource.
Is it just luxury? I
Just
thought it was
luxury.
strategic. Oh, it's not strategic.
No,
Oh,
strategic
shit.
is the silly.
I thought it was strategic. Oh, I thought it was strategic. Okay, luxury. Oh, okay. All right. In that regard,
yeah, in that case, fuck the Dorgashi. But yeah.
Well, look. I mean, you're either going to get a whole. Yeah, you're either going to have a whole heap of luxury resources, or you're not going to be. You're only going to be producing a certain amount, and depending on if you're lucky on where you place, you could be dust lords and you're getting spices. Like, who cares if the Dorgashi produce more spices for you? You're not going to use it because you don't use food. It's basically just an additional little bit of happiness.
I forgot about that issue. Yeah, the bonus only matters if you've currently got what you already want.
So so it means, if you're not getting a good luxury resource at all, is there a point in actually getting more of it, other than to maybe sell in the stock market? But the stock market is the law of diminishing returns. You can only sell so much before it's worth nothing.
Yeah.
The unit itself, I mean, I've had it as a unit. There's better cavalry units than this thing. This thing is it feels pretty ordinary.
It's got strong. I'm looking at it here. It's like got strong cavalry slayer or infantry slayer, but it doesn't really matter when they got really fuck all attack.
And
tanky,
life wise maybe, but is their defense tanky though?
It looks like they're good on the charge.
I feel like they don't cop a lot.
Okay, so defense 30. I forgot what's attack is hitting, isn't it? Or is that damage?
Attack is hitting chance and damage is damage.
Oh, okay. So when it says
they got a lower,
it just means
they've got a low attack chance, but then their hot damage is higher.
Okay, so they're more likely to hit if they move. And okay, so if they charge, they're more likely to hit someone. But after that, then they don't do shit. Okay. So they're already in base contact with someone, they won't fucking hit anything. Okay, that's pretty average. Yeah, fuck that. Yeah. Overall, yeah.
I think they're another mech unit. The only difference between this and Nidia is really the passive buff isn't as good. Or I mean, look, it's situational. It can be really good, or it can be garbage.
Well, I almost want to give it, because cavalry is harder to counter. I feel like most people are either going to have infantry slayer or range slayer. So it can get by being cavalry, helps a lot. But I think I'll put it in, what do you reckon, above or below? I'll put it below just because I like the bird.
Yeah, I think so too. It's if it's there, take it, but you don't you're not going to rely on it too much as any default that's going to take over a position in your main army.
Alright, finally onto something that's actually fucking good.
Whoa! Back up.
The xenomorph from Aliens. So, ironically, this is actually the eyeless ones, even though they look like this. So supposedly they are very smart, and they live in mud huts because they can't see shit. So they don't give a fuck. It literally says it right here. They have simple mud huts with minimal decorations. So they got actually one of the better bonuses. +5 happiness on city. Now, happiness is like a stat that you pretty much buy on every tech tree because of how important it is, because expansion disapproval is a huge fucking factor, along with other things. So having more happiness is always like a huge plus, especially when you expand a lot. So yeah, I think it's probably one of the better ones. Get like 3 of them. +15 approval in every city is... That's like the difference between like happy and fervent. It's freaking nuts.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of an early game to mid game boost, especially when you're expanding. And in the hands of some of the more we don't like expanding too much, and you're going to get slammed with disapproval. It can be a good substitute while you want to put your tech to other things. Once you get to late game, you're basically getting all the happiness techs. You're going to have all the empire disapprovals. You're going to have all the bloody buildings that give happiness. And there's a shitload of them
but
towards
they get
the
you
end.
there. Like keeping your entire empire fervent is just crazy.
And it means it also can mean you don't need to try and rush in the empire thing every 20 turns. Getting the +20 happiness in that, you can put it onto other things.
I thought that was what one's that for?
You know the empire, the thing that pops up every 20 turns?
Yeah, I thought that just gave vision. Oh no, one of them is happiness, isn't it?
Yeah, the second tier is happiness. But you can channel that to other things, especially if you aren't generating huge amounts of influence. It definitely a passive that's really, really good. Unit wise,
I like them I actually get them quite often. The heal is so what do we get? So they're ranged. Okay, so attack range of 3 tiles and -1 morale per adjacent enemy. Okay, so that's just if they're nearby. So they can attack from ranged, automatically heals any unit to 50% of the caster's damage value. And healing halo automatically heals any adjacent ally. So they heal adjacent allies, or they can heal anyone. I find them really strong.
So they're a heal support. So it's not the worst. It's pretty good. I haven't seen them use late game, but I mean, you could pretty much probably buy like a couple of these in the marketplace if you really needed to, just to have passive heal in the background. I mean, if they die, who cares? But just to get the additional heal is probably good. Healing is good. I mean, it's why you try to get to gold equipment as quickly as possible, because you get the regeneration trinkets.
Yeah.
Well, I do anyway, because I like to just takes a hit off. Overall a good race in all sort of applications. Look, they're not going to be a frontline winning unit. They're definitely support, but they do the job. I'm thinking A.
I was going to put a mess.
Oh.
Like the thing is, they're really good. I find them really.
We'll leave you with the captain's call on that one.
Put a mess for that, because I find that they're really good. Depending on your army composition, they're really good. But even if you don't build, sometimes you don't want to build minor union faction units. Like if you're cold, well, actually to be fair, coldest won't get this guy here. But let's say you've got like really good faction units, you might not want to build these guys. In which case, their passive happiness is just good enough. You never feel like you're being fucked over by selecting this unit.
That's true. Alright, I'm happy with that.
Sweet. Oh, it's the fat boy. Oh, one sec. Huh?
Is it Hugo Boss?
It is! Oh, man. Plus 5% food on city. Why do I always feel this? I don't know. There's so many of these percentages don't feel as impactful as I feel like they should be.
Well, I mean, if you get to, I mean, yeah, food is one of those one. I mean, in Endless Legends, you don't feel it as much as say humankind, but food, you're going to find it's going to reduce as you build pops. But if you're producing, 100 food in a city, you're going to get an extra 5 per boss assimilated. So you could end up with an extra 15. I mean, look, it's not like it's not going to break the bank. It's probably just like trickle down economics here. And
right.
look, you focus food for a bit, and then you really don't give a shit. You just let it just sort of passively grow your cities as you go.
Like, I play my Caro, and you think that bonus would be really amazing on them, but it's one of those things where I was like, yeah, whatever.
Well,
maybe it's because it's a bonus, not a bonus.
Because the problem is, would you take 5% from a manufacturer, or would you take the husbandry building, which gives you +4 per population when you put them onto food, just to get like a massive jolt? Where you can just sit them on pops for say 10 turns, and you gain an extra 6 just because you've generated that much food.
Yeah.
It's a case of that. And with more pops means more food consumption, which means it goes down. And yeah, the upgrades on food, like later on, I think Era 3 stuff there's some, but it starts falling off in terms of how much you can get. So it's a meh passive that really doesn't have a lot of.
Yeah, it's like early game you don't have the percentage doesn't do much, and late game you're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's sort of just like it's one of those things. It's nice to have if it's there, but you're not gonna rely on it to basically make sure your city grows. Let's put it that way.
Well, looking at it, they're fairly tanky. How many?
Yeah, the unit itself. I've gone a bit of back and forth on whether I like it or not. But
it's not the worst looking at it. Like, feels like it does. Yeah, it's attacks 20, damage 24. So it's not the worst unit. Like, I haven't really purchased them too often because, like, often you see their passive. Like, fuck, I don't want that. So you never get around to building it.
So I just played a game with the Kapaku, and these things did some fucking damage to me. You look at the stats. It's got the stats are pretty good. It's got a high initiative, good damage, good defense. It's actually a very good unit for what it is, which is just cavalry. Yeah. You compare that against Dorgashi, and this probably actually looks a bit better.
Oh, it's much better than Dorgashi.
And it gets free counter, which is that's a great ability.
That's what makes it strong. Anything with free counter in it, I find. What the fuck? Anything with free counter in it, I find freaking nuts.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a pure cavalry slayer. But hey.
Well, it's cavalry slayer. What's this thing? No, in ranged.
Oh, it has range slayer, does it?
But it depends. I don't know if long spears are two-handed, so you may have to give up a shield.
I'd say this wouldn't have a shield at all.
Oh, it does have a shield. It says it has a shield. Weapons. Long spear, axe, shield.
Oh.
G'day.
What the fuck? Who was that? Oh, I thought you went on tonight, Paul.
Well, it wasn't going to be, but we watched a few episodes of Expanse, and now just as we're watching Bachelor.
Oh, all good. How you doing?
Good. What are you guys up to?
Oh, we're just talking about it.
We are raiding minor factions in Endless Legend.
That's okay. We can always, like the last one, we can always put this on pause, and we can keep coming back to it.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, whatevs. I don't mind.
Oh, hang on. We're just going to rate this. What do you think of rating it?
Oh, just look at the stats alone. I'll put it in B.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the unit makes up for its shit passive.
Yeah, maybe that was done deliberately. Although, Yeah, they overrated the fucking luxury resources. Or maybe we're underrating the luxury resources.
Maybe, who knows? But yeah, that's
Luxury resources are that's a case of win more.
But the unit is pretty good, so we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll put that on pause.
Hell yeah.
Oh, shall we
Ask the others if they're coming on. How do we do that? Can you guys hear that?
Hear what?
Oh, maybe not. Oh well. But yeah. Alright, we'll say that for now. Not bad, not bad. So it looks
So were you
like
guys not? Were you playing Endless Legend, or were you rating? Did you say you were rating
Yeah.
factions?
Yeah, we're just doing one of those just a ranking thing.
Ah.
We're gonna do it for minor factions, and then we're gonna do it for the major factions, just to get a little bit of
It's
content
going to be
on
a bit
there.
unfair on the roving clans because neither of us have played them. Like, it's one of those things where, like, occasionally you're like, oh, I wish I... Like, it's funny because then Lily is a case of I didn't want to play Lilia to begin with, but then became one of my favourite champions to play. But I get a feeling that roving clans has done nothing to make me want to even try them. So they lose points for that, just to begin with. Anyway.
We've done the boss, Seratan, Nydia, and Dorgashi. Okay.
Some of these I feel like putting up a tier because they've been good, but I don't know. Maybe in comparison to the others, maybe not. But yeah, maybe it's just because we're playing on a harder difficulty that some of these neutral minions are doing a lot more damage than they have any right
We have
to do.
to remember the neutrals on any given day are probably okay, but this is really just sort of our favourites, and we try and basically vomit to in our reasoning as to why we think they're good or bad.
Ah, I'm very good at vomiting. Anyway, let's work out the kinks that we got here.
Oh god.
Yeah. Well, the next guy.
Hang on. Yeah, so let's do the next one, and that way then it'll be easier to tick these off. Let's do the Delvers.
Okay, so we'll skip the next one and go to the Delvers. These fuckers. Okay, so so basically our dwarves. Okay, let's have a look. What do the dwarves do? Why the fuck can I not click on them? That's dodgy. Let's go to a better site. Ah, that's better. Or is it? Yes, it is. The Delvers. Okay. This is another one of those units where, like, if you're like roving clans or dust lords, I'm sure that the Delvers are a lot better than what I'm used to.
So the.
So what do they give you? So, are they tanky at all? They're fairly tanky. They got a bit of stuff. They're not the worst as far as like stats go.
How do I click the font? Oh, here we go. Dredge. So these are just infantry. They have a circular attack, I think is their
that's the one.
Their thing. They also can equip hammers, so they can get stun.
Okay, so they're pretty strong already.
So in that case, that's pretty useful. I mean, they're just I think just from the look of them, they're just a meh unit. But
well, they're basically just dwarves that. Although they got some cool artwork for their quest, I'll give them that. Like that looks cool.
And then they've got what they give, which is plus 5% dust per pacified and rebuilt Delver's village on cities.
Well, that's pretty good, isn't it? That means if you got 1,000,000 dust, that's how much is that, Brownie?
I don't want to do math on a Saturday. 1,000,000, it's like 50,000.
Okay, why is if you got $1.3 billion?
I'm not doing this. Stop it. Use a calculator.
Oh, fuck that. That means I have to click on buttons. Okay, so what annoying shit do they have? Come back to this ruin with Delver's unit in your army in a minimum of glass steel and you get a weapon. Is that? Do they? So they got a few quest lines.
Oh, yeah, you get like requite related quests. You get Valiant Lightning. That's their shield, isn't it?
No, it's a crossbow.
Oh no, it's a bow. Ah, okay.
Skull of Caves Pacification. To be fair, they got some cool missions and all.
Hmm.
Bandit Merriment. I think I've got this before.
I think they're like one of those that they're actually not bad, but there's just better.
Yeah, I think they're pretty cool. Like, they got some cool shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they got some cool missions and stuff. I'd put them.
And plus 5% dust. You're not gonna sneeze at that. That's still pretty good. I think they're maybe boss tier.
I guess that's B.
Yeah, we'll just call it the Hugo boss tier.
Oh. Fair enough. I'll put it before the Dorgashi. Better than a fat fucking centaur, that's for sure.
Well, I think they last a bit longer than the Dorgashi. They have a weapon that can stun. That already just makes them a little bit better. So
Who's this poor bastard down here? I can't even remember the name of this guy.
Dorgashi. What do they call him?
Poor dude.
It's a Burdeki.
Oh, luxury resource. Yeah, fuck that.
Mm.
Oh yeah, that's garbage. Yeah, okay, I can understand why it's CT.
That was the double though. That was actually pretty easy. Which one would you like to do next?
Kanji.
Which one?
Kanji.
Oh, the Kazanji.
This guy is the fucking worst. Like when I first played the game, I used to play Wild Walkers a lot, and for some reason, the Wild Walkers would always have the kanji in their region, which the problem is that all the Wild Walkers units are ranged, and Kazanji get bonus damage against ranged. So it's like...
So in other words, you can't kill them.
Yeah, you just get fucking wrecked by them. I wish... Is there a way to activate their special abilities, or is it just like... It does it for you?
I think it does it for you, doesn't it?
Because I've never got the chain lightning attack to happen. Oh, maybe.
Yeah, they have chain lightning. Maybe. I can't remember. I haven't had the Kazanji as a unit.
My God, look at the crazy shit they
I do
get.
know it's good.
Okay, so they're a bit slower, but they can still fly. They take no damage from lava.
Slow but fly. Flamewalker, Ash Breather can regenerate life on volcanic terrain. Jeez.
That's a nice little bonus.
So they get claws or battle axe. So they can either stun or sweep strike back.
Oh, is that what a claw is?
I think battle axe is.
Yeah, sweep back or what was the other one? The axe.
Oh no, battle axe is range slayer.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah,
if I can find it. Where is the axe? Yep. Oh, good, you can tell me this shit.
You know,
also, you get influence boost. Influence boost is freaking amazing. Oh my God, look at the life. 132. 132 life.
I think the value is more in the unit than the buff. The buff is nice, but you only got 100 influence, maybe a turn in mid game, so you'll probably get an extra 5 per pacified village.
That's the equivalent of declaring war.
It's true. That's true. Also
right.
gives you a bit more tactics, I suppose. But yeah, the unit is just a
fucking nuts.
A big beefy dude that can do some damage.
Main issue with it takes forever to build though.
Yeah, they're costly, but if they're costly, they're actually going to be half decent. I think that's the main thing.
I like how it's like a neutral minion. And yet, every piece of artwork, that makes them out to be like the most evil creatures in the entire world.
Yeah.
Are they?
I don't know. They even have a quest line.
Help the Kazanji revive their faith or bring them together in peace. What do you get for that? Okay, it's not much, but they do get their own quest. So, they don't...
Dust drop licks picks one Titan Bones booster.
They're damn cool unit.
So you either get gold or Titan bones by the look of it.
Not the worst.
No, it's just something small and additional.
Mm.
But yeah, great unit. It's got good defense and life. It's just like a good tank that has a chain lightning ability.
For some reason,
I
yeah.
mean, look, flying at least makes it at least have some sort of counterplay. You know, given bows are the main damage of everyone, and then you get the assimilation bonus of plus influence, which is pretty bloody good. Not S tier. You reckon nice A tier? You think?
Oh, it's tough. Yeah, I always put him here. I think there might be a couple in S. It's one of those things where I'm trying to think of how many units I want in S tier and how many I want in A tier.
Up to you. I'm happy with either. What your final call? What do you think?
I might put it there because I'm never going to say no. When I have a choice, chances are I'm going to go to the Kazanji as far as inducting.
Yeah, I think they're just a unit that you just want to have. You know, I think I reckon in some cases it's probably better than some of the races infantry units.
Fucking my Kara. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy with an S rank just because I think it's good.
After the Xenomorph. But yeah.
Which one do you reckon next?
Is it the Ceratons next?
Oh, the spiders. Oh god.
5 defense on every unit. Not the worst. Now
that is a nice sounding ability. You know, and especially if you get like a region where there's maybe 3 Ceraton, it's like, you know, you can get up to like 15% additional defense. There's a tech that gives plus 20, which is even better. Hang on a second.
Whoa. Water the Cocoon. What is this? Ew.
So that in itself is really good, like as passive defense, but the unit,
Block
I'm
2.
the Drider. I mean, look at it.
I like the Drider.
Goddamn stats.
It has what?
You like the Drider?
Doesn't matter what its stats. It has what's good? It's a really tanky unit that heals. Its heals is really good. Like if we look up.
How can you call that tanky? It has nothing. It's a paperweight.
It's got 108 life and 20 defense, probably boosted once you induct them. So they attack from 3 range, which is pretty good, and they can stun a friendly unit, increase their defense by 100%, or they can heal a unit equal to the caster's damage.
The unit gains an amount of health equal to the caster's damage. The base is getting increased defense and heal.
Okay, so it turns out the Cocoon stun is pretty garbage, but healing a unit is pretty damn good. But yeah, I don't mind them. I haven't.
Since Driders have a low initiative score, they generally act last in combat. That's why it's shit.
I don't think I've ever stunned my own unit, so mine are always healing.
It has an initiative of 2, so all the attackers will have attacked, and then it's like, here's some additional defense. Oh wait, you're dead already.
That is weird. But like
how could you say this is a good unit? That's
that ability is only ever healed for me. I've never seen it. Oh, no, it's not the worst, purely because it's still healing the unit and it still could do its thing next turn. It just means that
based on its damage. I suppose it's damage.
So it heals, and if there's anything somehow slower, aka my Kara, after it, then basically they can't hurt that healed unit.
Can you stop bagging my all of a sudden now favourite race, please?
Oh yeah, way to steal. Yeah, it's like, oh, Mark's favourite race is my Kara. Let me steal them off him.
No, I just started playing with it. I'm like, I can see why. But if you actually play it like a non-idiot, they're actually even better than you play it.
Listen to it.
I think it's a useless unit, but that's just me. You're obviously going to say it's a little bit better than useless.
Well, in that case,
it's essentially a heal bot at the end of your turn. So,
I'm gonna put it in low B then.
I think high C is probably generous. I think it's the passive from the race alone is good, but I don't think it's anything. You're not gonna choose that over over the ones in B
I'm just
the
going to
dredge
make an
and
army of
the dredge and
Ceratons.
boss are gonna be picked for that.
I'm making armies.
You can attempt to make them work, but that initiative of 2 as a base, that is pitiful for what it's supposed to be doing. Like if that was fast and it was getting cocoons out, at the start of your turn, then perfect. Your units are getting increased defense by 100%, getting a heal start, bang. But no, it's not getting that.
Fair enough.
I have spoken.
Poor
right.
little guy.
What next? What would you like to do next?
All of a sudden, this Dorgashi is very lucky to be in C at the moment. He may not stay there for much longer.
No,
right.
he might get revisited.
The endless. The haunts.
Oh, the ended. We're gonna do the haunts.
Remember when they had like an event where like you could get the haunts hero? I missed that. I don't know why they.
You still can.
Really? How come I've never got it?
You can. It sometimes appears in the shop, like the Sisters of Mercy hero.
Oh no way! I should look it for him then.
Yeah. All right. Let's just put him in S tier. I think doesn't need to speak much about that.
Oh, well, yeah, it's one of those things. Like,
these things are the best.
Even if you don't want to build an army, plus 5% science is pretty fucking good.
It's great. That is really good.
What else does it have? So haunts. What do we get? So you get the ended.
The ended of a unit. Which
Immune
is
to disease and parasites. Not bad.
Has chain lightning. Does have slow, but it flies.
Oh, that's 2 flying units that have less movement now.
It must be the way of
But having that infantry slayer is fucking crazy. Speed of 6.
You can choose. You can choose out of Claymore, which is infantry slayer, or long spear, which is cavalry slayer. So basically, depending on what you're facing, you can change it to what you need it to be. And it's got chain light. It's just a great unit, and it has enough sort of tank to cop a hit, but it can turn around.
Oh yeah, a little bit. Do we have like a list? I want to have a look. Is there a list that can just let me compare all the stats just straight up?
You're probably asking the internet for way too much here.
I am. Bugger. Whatever. But yeah, I think they're pretty good. Like I said, that's one of those other things where like even if I don't have any plans on building them,
the science alone is good. Even if it's only like a region with say even just one of them, you're getting +5 science times your cities.
Well, how much science? If you had 861,000 science, how much is that?
Why are you making me do math? You do the math.
I'm not doing the math. I'm not a banker.
You're getting if you've got 860, you're getting an extra about 45 science on top. Oh,
every little bit counts.
Well, that's 5%. But if you say you got a region of 3 of them, that's 15%. So you get like an extra 130 odd.
So that actually goes, aren't they?
That starts stacking up. Yeah.
Virtual. So these are the virtual bombings.
And plus, you can understand why they did a little event on these dudes. These dudes are amazing. I mean, if there was a new race in Endless Legend 2 that was around the ended, that would be the fucking best.
That'd be pretty fucking broken, wouldn't it?
Well, probably, but I wouldn't complain. I think I would be extremely happy at that. Like if you could make a race around this neutral unit. That's all I'm saying. And then you got the hero. It's Eslek, and he's pretty good as a hero unit. Just because it's like basically the haunts in one unit, and it just does stuff. It's great.
Day of Awakening.
I've used him a couple of times. He's pretty good.
Day of Awakening. When was that? So yeah, so this is when the concrete endless went against the virtual endless, and yeah, so when they killed all the virtual endless, these are the echoes left over. Okay.
Yeah, great neutral. It just goes straight to S tier. No questions asked.
Fair enough. Oh my
Not gonna
god.
fight me on that.
+2 science on city center, +2 on. God damn. This guy's like a super fucking science monster.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that. Yeah, easily S tier. And probably the last. Personally, for me, I think the last S tier unit would be the Silix coming up.
Yeah, do you want to do them? I'm probably of an agreement there. Either high A or S tier for the Silix. Let's get into them.
Let me see.
I mean, these things are just tanks on, just tanks. Like they're just freaking huge and just so good. So we've got the faction bonus, which is 0.5 strategic resources per pacified and rebuild Silix village on strategic resource deposit. Now, that alone is good for most races. It's really good if you're cultists and Mycara.
Yeah, Mycara especially, because they receive less of the bonuses, so they need all the help they can get.
I think it's better for cultists actually.
How so?
Because they only get 0.1 from a region if they've got a converted village.
Oh.
But if you've got Select, that 0.1 turns to 0.6.
Yeah.
And that's an insane return.
God
That
damn.
actually is like, you know, that makes like, you know, their game just so much easier. It's just crazy.
Holy fuck. 140 life with 46 defense? God damn.
Yeah, they're brick walls. They're like, the stats are actually quite.
How are these things
bloody
faster than fucking spider women?
And we haven't even hit the best part about these. They can carry the weapons that stun.
Yeah. Oh,
so you can go claws or battle hammer. So you can do sweep, strike back, or stun. They've got the beam. Overrides default attack only, allows to attack enemies behind the initial target up to 3 tiles. So if they activate beam, they're basically ranged hitters.
I've never activated the beam. Is it just because like there's nothing behind them?
I don't know. I can't remember if I've activated it either. It just sounds really good.
I thought these guys were immune to winter. Maybe they're not.
Nah, just disease immunity.
Still good.
It would be. You'd think, you know, massive crystal-like entities would actually be immune to winter, which would be actually. I mean that's probably Takagon. Even more.
Well, yeah, these guys came out before the winter expansion, so my best guess is they just didn't add anything to. I don't know if they added anything to any of these races or buffed them or nerfed them.
And this would be a really cool one of the neutrals that would have a really cool hero unit.
Don't push your luck, Brownie.
Oh, you know you want it.
That would be pretty cool.
But yes, I think S tier.
God, just look, the artwork of this game is just fucking amazing. It's just funny, you just see this artwork just for like basic. The only time you ever see it is for like a random side quest mission. Why is there no? I wonder if there's like a page where you can find all the Endless Legend artwork.
The Silix Ambassador. Yeah, I'm happy with ST. I think you have to.
Oh wow, there's an actual art book for this game? Fuck, no one told me this.
Nice.
As I said, if there's an Endless Legend 2, I'm gonna be fucking over the moon. But yeah, okay, where was I?
Where were you? You were putting these guys in S tier and we were moving on.
Oh, I'm gonna actually put that there. I reckon it's better than those two. Actually, fuck.
I think the Eyeless one's probably in the wrong spot.
It's a tough one because the Eyeless ones has a huge impact. Just because that's a flat bonus, which helps a lot. Silix is really good. I think they're about equal. I like that spot there. I think they're all pretty good there.
Okay, all right. We'll leave that to anyone that actually watches this and comments.
comments would be like, "There's too many people in S tier. S tier is meant to be the best of the best. How can you have like a super S tier? How can
Well,
like,
it's easy.
if everyone's
It's easy. If you see one of these neutrals, you'll take over a region just to get them.
if everyone's special, then no one's special."
You really think people are going to be that toxic? They got to watch it first.
Did you not see the fucking message that Dante got for merely pushing someone off the edge of a video game, of which that guy could have re-queued in 5 minutes? Yes, people are that much. God damn.
All right. Which one do you want to do next?
Oh, we haven't done a shit one in a while. What's this Hydra thing?
Eyeless ones. Ooh.
No, not the eyeless ones.
Oh, sorry. The Ereses.
Yes.
I have mixed feelings about this one. Now,
A little bit of movement.
I'll tell you what. Yes. That's the part I have mixed feelings about, because that buff, especially if you get a couple of the cities, actually is quite good.
Does that work in combat?
It's movement speed. I think it's outside of combat, but just to be able to get around is
Classify move.
pretty good.
It's not the worst, but it's like, okay, so the thing is, if you have one of these in your starting village, then it does nothing. The bonus is only good if you move into a region where you've got a minimum of like 2. But any odd number is garbage.
Now, 0.5 works with roads, because roads reduce the tile to, is it 0.5 or it's something small? It brings it from 1 to a percentage. I don't know how far down it goes, because that's why you can move really far on roads. So once all the roads are up in all the empires, then a buff like this actually makes your units fly around the map.
Oh, what the fuck is this thing? Why does it have a gold helmet on? But then if you got roads, isn't there enough movement?
Yeah, but like, movement is always going to be good. Like, if someone's threatening to, hit your city and you need to get as many units over there, then, movement actually can be helpful. But then the other side of the coin is the unit.
It's funny, I look at it and I go, oh, it's got 24 defense and 100. Actually, 100 life isn't much, is it?
I just feel like it's probably because it doesn't.
It's a shittier version of the Maikari unit, and those are not words you want to hear.
But so the reason it's bad is because it only gets body armor. It doesn't get a helmet. It doesn't get boots. Because of that, it means it just doesn't have.
Oh, is that why they feel so weak?
That's why. So they're losing like 2 units worth of health and defense.
Fuck.
Or just other stats. And they only have their default to claws and nothing else. So it's just like and it has circular attack, big whoop, but which seems a bit redundant when you've got claws anyway, which is doing sweep strike back. But
most of my experience is I finally build one. And then what happens? Bam, goes in, gets one attack off, then dies.
Yeah, and that's really it. And if it could get more armor stuff, I think it would actually be a bit better. But it just feels like cardboard.
Yeah.
So I mean,
90.
I mean, we'd probably have to put it in a D rank, won't we?
The question is it better than any of these things here?
Well, I'm going to say no, because they can at least put on more armor. That's really the key thing. The fact that this thing just doesn't have any armor.
It doesn't scale.
I mean, it doesn't scale. It's just always going to be. I mean, you're relying on levels in the hopes that it can take more than a couple of hits.
And its bonuses, unless you're on a road or something, having that 0.5 is a big hit. Like, how often do you get more than 3 of any of these minor factions? And the thing is, that's the other thing you have to look at. You've taken over four regions. And your regions are, let's say, the Eresus, the Silix, the Kanji, Delvers. and you're going through your science thing, and you're like, well, fuck, I can only induct 1 or 2 of these races. Do I want to induct a third in the science tree? Would I give up a science to put these guys in?
No.
Yeah, there you go.
Agree.
You're not going to do it.
D rank.
See, I only get the assimilated factions. Like, if I had, like, Simics, Kanji, and fucking Endless, yeah, God, oh, fuck, God, if I can assimilate more of that if I can. Yeah, Mr. Suicide Snake. Like I said, it's a shame one of the cooler units is just... Oh, well.
Right, can we do the unit that I love, but not because I don't think it's any...
Okay, so we'll move... Okay, we'll do the Rumblers next.
No. No, the Gelderus. The Gelderus.
Oh, fuck. The Saber... Wait, that's the,
Yeah, that's the big ice warg with the tusks. I love the look of this unit. I just love everything it's about it. And I had a really good experience when I was playing, like, it was early days, and we were playing like Ardent Mages, and I had the Gelderus, and they were just frontlining while I was just setting everything on fire with the bloody with the Ardent Mage range units, and these were just tanking everything. So they seemed like a really good unit, but they're probably not like, top tier. So, but they're still pretty good. Like, assimilation bonus, you're getting +5 damage per pacified village, which is nothing to sneeze at.
They're pretty good. They're immune to ice and water, but they have a weakness to fire and thunder. But they're pretty good.
What?
Yeah.
Barry?
That's what we're talking about, right?
Wrong game.
You sure? It looks very similar. But okay.
Okay. So yeah. Anyway, so +5% damage.
Yeah, these guys I like a lot. These guys are cool.
Really good.
Yeah, damage is really good. It's the winter thing. Oh wait, is it damage?
I just saw that. Yeah, this actually has the immunity to winter movement reduction and vision.
Also, I like the fact that I love the fact that their picture is just them at a campfire. It looks so ridiculous because they walk on all fours, and it's just them like, ugh, come join us.
And they're just roasting something on a campfire.
I know, that just cracks me up for some reason. It's just not what I expect.
Yeah.
But it goes to show these are minor...
And whilst they've only got claws, they actually will take a helm, so they're already better than the vine snakes immediately.
So what's the Founders Pack? Because did we get the Emperors or the Founders Pack? Whatever we got it.
And
wait, is that initiative or damage? Oh, it's damage.
I think they eventually made it available to everyone that owned it. I don't think I had to buy it.
Yeah. So you think these things are what's claws do? So they only got one weapon. Okay.
Yeah, they only got the claws, but
which
that makes
is
sense.
sweetback.
But they get the
so it's a counter attack.
Yeah. No, that's the one that's the AOE.
Yeah. So AOE on swipeback. Only one accessory slot though.
But they get the cuirass and helm, so they at least get more. They at least get 50% more items than the.
Jeez, they're a bit. I didn't realize they're actually fairly weakish. Oh, that's it. That's where you get it's deceptive, where like you go, oh, they look pretty weak, defense and their health, but then you realize they're cavalry, and most units are not designed to take on cavalry.
And most cavalry units usually are weaker. So.
But most people walking around with range slayer or infantry slayer.
But that damage of 40 is quite nice. So.
That is good.
Yeah. But yeah, they're gonna frontline. They're gonna frontline, pretty well. Plus they're buff. So I mean, I think they're
80.
I mean, I like using them. Yeah, I mean,
I like them, especially going during winter. Like, what are you going to do against that?
The campfire alone gets them to A tier.
Do they? Oh, whoops. Oh no. Oh, here we are. Do they have They have no mission though. But yeah, pretty cool unit. I like they added it. What's this? If I click this, where does that take me? It takes me to the damage icon. Alrighty. I'm pretty happy with that. That was pretty quick. It's like, this unit's good.
Yeah, this unit's good. Hey.
That was like Jim Cornette being asked about Big Swole leaving. It's like, that's good. Okay, then I guess the question is done.
Alright, did you want to do Ursa's then? So you
Ursus?
mentioned it before.
We just did the Ursus.
No. They're the fat dudes. The rumblers.
Rumblers.
The big dude. The big.
I'm looking for him. Ursies. You, Brenny. I don't know why you're saying Ursies instead of Ursies. But yeah. Oh God,
how dare I?
Oh God, those things are ugly.
Yeah.
That poor antelope. Is that an
That
antelope?
poor sheep is just gonna get smashed.
That's not a sheep. Looking at the nose, it's more like looks like an anteater. Maybe it's a honey thing.
Are we really gonna pick apart what this animal is?
Whoa,
in a fictional
156 fucking health.
All right, let's start with the basis. So plus 5% building production cost reduction per passive item.
Is
rebuild
that good?
build. That's a really
So what? I
quite a
get
nice buff.
confused. So building production cost reduction. Does that mean is that the buyout or when you build?
So if you're building costs 200 industry to build, right? Which it takes obviously a number of turns depending on how many people you've got on industry in your production of industry in the city. So it'll be a reduction of that 200 by 5%. So it'll only take 190 industry to build.
Fair fucking.
And if you have more of these Ursies, that gets lower. So where this buff is really good is if you're wanting to go for the megapole, the museum, all that kind of stuff. Because those reductions mean less industry required to put into it, which might mean you get an extra. You might get a 1 or 2 turns quicker depending on how many Ursies you have. So in that regard, it's quite a good buff. Plus late game.
So if you got 2 of these, that's 10% off. So if you induct these, the Rumbler itself goes from 90 to 81.
No. Building production, not unit production.
Oh, fuck.
Building production.
Okay, in that case, let's look up a building. What's the building that takes me a while to build? Wait, is this
Megapole?
By the time you get these guys, someone should have the Megapole already. You know what?
Just do it. Just look up the Megapole and find out. Say you're blessed and you manage to get the Rumblers in your starting territory.
Okay, then it's 5. We're going to say 5% then. There's no way you don't start with 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Production is 1,000, so 5% of 1,000, Brownie.
Really? You actually can't do that yourself?
I could.
So it's 50 off. So it only takes 950 to build.
Yeah, that's not too bad. That's just with 1, so that's pretty decent. By the time you
think about starting industry. If you manage to do really well on max it, and I've done that, you'll probably have industry saying around somewhere between 60 and 80, and you're saving 50 on the Megapole.
Okay, so so let's say you have 3 of these guys. Building Glory to the Empire is 250. So you save. Let's say 250 for Glory to the Empire.
So 15% off that is 37, 38 off.
It's not too bad.
Look, it's one of those things where it just means that your buildings will get built slightly quicker, which means you can put your industry to work on building units.
Yeah, and they're pretty decent. They're pretty.
The unit itself,
it has counterattack, doesn't it?
No, it has beam.
No beam. Oh, beam.
I think Silix, but just a dude with titties.
Oh, okay, so it's mainly just a shockwave in front, like Magnetor from Dota 2. Like they're pretty slow. They're tanky, but
they're the kind of unit that's good for someone like say cultists, where building cost reduction is always good, but the unit itself is going to be that wall for their rangers. What weapons do they get? They get the battle hammer.
Is that a stun?
There you go. That's stun.
Can you stun on counter attack?
and they get all 3 armor things,
Wait, did I see that right?
which is really good.
Oh. Yeah, well, they're
don't know.
They're not going to attack the target they want, but chances are, if they're in front of something, they're going to block shit.
They're just frontline, soaks. That's all. But some races need that. Some
Yeah.
races don't have that kind of unit, like cultists. They don't have
Shambler.
it. There's so I think maybe
You reckon?
a
A or
B.
B? Oh, you reckon
A or
B?
B. I was thinking high B. Like they're definitely better than maybe the boss and delvers. Maybe even low A. They're the kind of unit that's probably like you're not going to say no.
Let's put them low A, just because they're a tank unit and they've got building production. At the very least, I could get an assimilation bonus just to put them in.
You can definitely find a use for them, I think.
Yeah. The fat fucks, yeah.
Yeah. Which one do you want to do next?
The Sisters of Battle.
These are the Sisters of Mercy.
How do they not get done with copyright infringement, I'm guessing? Are they the Sisters of Battle? Sisters of Mercy. No, the thing is, in Sisters of Battle actually have an order called the Sisters of Mercy. Or do they?
There you go.
Or maybe they don't. I can't remember.
Well, these units actually are pretty cheap. But are they any good? Let's see. Plus 5%.
I like how she's got these giant armor pads and just
wounds.
no armor around the corset. But yeah, typical.
So plus 5% health regeneration. So if your health regeneration is currently 0, does that just provide a default or?
I think every race has like regeneration of some sort.
Mm.
But even if you put it on your city, then they're just going to heal quicker.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
I like this unit a lot. This unit's really good for defense.
Benediction removes negative status effects from a target friendly unit and provides immunity for 2 rounds. Heals a friendly unit for a life amount equal to 50% of the caster damage value.
And immunity to parasites.
15% of the caster damage value? It's like nothing. That's like a heal of...
It feels a lot higher than that. No, it heals more than 3. I know that for a fact.
15% of the caster damage value. The caster's damage at base is 22. 10% of that is 2.
I know, but I've used the ability. It's definitely not 2. Maybe I don't know what. I don't know what.
Take that under advisement. I don't know. It's cheap at least, but I don't know.
I like this unit a lot. This unit is awesome. And they got their own quest line where she comes in with their puffy shoulder pads.
They got the hero as well, so which is always
good. You get the Blade of Mercy.
Well, they've got 3 quests. That's pretty cool.
Is it? Oh, it is 3 quests. I used this hero as well. She was nuts. What did she have? Yeah. Oh, she's the one that gave you all the happiness.
Oh, okay.
No, I think they're good. Like, I think she's low A. Because yeah, I have these girls as like backline and stuff, and they're pretty good. And they're tanky for like you said, they're also cheap, so they're not the worst. And yeah, they got some cool shit. They got some cool side quests as well. So yeah, I reckon they're low A though.
Low A, all right.
Oh, do I want low A or maybe
high B?
Oh, let's go high B because I'm starting to think because they're a great unit, but then the others are pretty damn good up there.
Mm.
Yeah, low B sounds good.
I think 5% health regen bonus is pretty.
It's one of those things. If you get 3 of these girls, you do some serious work. Because I'm pretty sure you heal around. Do you heal in your own regions or just around watchtowers?
No, I think there's a small amount of healing, unless you're Dust Lords.
What the fuck is me dropping frames tonight? It's lucky that I'm not doing anything that requires me to have frames. Ugh. Maybe I will have to go and plug in my internet connection tomorrow. Because yeah, it's weird. I didn't have any issues the other days ago. Now 3,000 frames drop. Fuck that shit. Alrighty.
Let's do the Tauren.
Oh, These guys are no Tauren. Tauren
Fine,
are
it's a
cool.
Minotaur.
Tauren are
So-
cool. Wait, what are they again? I'm trying to think. Goran. Oh, health!
yeah. Plus 5% life per pacified rebuilt village. That's pretty good. That's actually a nice bonus.
Oh, look at that. Thick thighs on these. You know what they say, Brownie?
Actually, the unit's quite balanced.
Thick
in terms
thighs
of stats.
save lives. 100 life. Are they cavalry?
So-
They are.
Oh, and
108.
these
Wait,
have-
is that 180 production cost?
that's expensive. That's the same.
Wait,
cost
is
as
that
the-
more than the kanji? Is it? No
Nah,
way.
I think it's the same price as the Kazanji. I mean, the stats are pretty good. Like, they're pretty spread. They can do sort of everything.
Ah, fuck it. I can't spell.
Yeah, we know.
Oh my god, there's a quest. Oh, look at the biceps on this guy.
And they have winter movement immunity.
Oh, what? No way. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
They're also immune to winter.
And they get the long spear and battle axe, so they're either ranged or cavalry slayers. They get all 3 armor slots. That makes them actually half decent.
So 90.
So they're range or cavalry slayers, which is pretty cool.
Okay, where's here we are, Kanji. Oh no, we've got a demon. Yeah, 180, so they're the same as that. Let's go to Rumbler. What are they? They're 90. God damn.
Wow. Yeah, they're pretty expensive in comparison, aren't they?
Vine snakes. Vine snakes are 110 production? In what world are they fucking 10 more than some of the others?
Jesus.
The eyeless ones, I'm guessing they're pretty cheap. 60. Yeah, that's pretty damn good.
This actually looks better than I thought it would be, actually.
Well, the mag
The winter immunity is actually quite interesting. I didn't even know that.
Oh, here we go. Harmonite. Harmonite is only 120 production.
That's why they're so good, mate.
What the fuck? Now that I'm starting to compare some of these just based off their production costs. Dried is only 60.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, here's the big one. Nydia. What are they? They're 90. No, that's not too bad. So what was the shit one? The Burdeki, was it? Oh, they're only 60. Okay, there you go. Some of these I should probably give like a...
There's a reason why they're shit, because they're cheap.
Yeah, it's too bad that their passive is garbage. But yeah, so 5% health. It's not the worst.
No, 5% health's pretty good. Especially if you get...
What is that? That's only 5... That's only, what, like 5 health on a 100 HP unit, though.
Yeah,
so,
that's an extra 5. I mean...
You're going to overkill most shit, though, aren't you? Oh, that's not true.
True, but, you know, it might be the difference between surviving and dying as well. I don't know. They look a lot better than my initial thoughts. The fact that you can either equip them... The fact that you can either equip them as ranged or cavalry slayers is pretty cool.
The big thing that I've noticed is that all the really good units, their bonuses are strategic, like they're like city-based bonuses. And the further you get away from that, the shittier they are. Because, like, except for this guy. Like, this guy's not too bad purely because he used bonus damage. But even then, chances are you could... If you're like, up all your units... okay, let me speak in plain English. If I can try to...
Please try.
Basically, it's better to be like, have more science so that you can get to a new tier to get better weapons than is to be a tier below and have more damage, because it's probably going to still lose out.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a case of, you know, if you've got the choice between Ended and, say, Nydia, you know, are you going to... And you were looking at it purely on a what's going to benefit your race overall, you're probably thinking science is going to benefit me overall, regardless. You know, even if you didn't compare the units.
Does this guy at least have a stun, or does he have anything? Look at his
No,
stats.
he's either a range slayer or cavalry slayer.
Oh.
Which in itself isn't too bad. You know, you could probably pull up some nice surprises if someone's going, you know, full cavalry.
But only 100
Cavalry
life for 180 production?
Yeah.
That's pushing it.
I think that part might, but I think these are gonna they at least will hit like a brick wall too.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe low B.
Yeah, I think so. This guy gets food, doesn't he?
Passive. Yeah, the boss gives food. Passive's not too bad. It's got some utility. Has the 3 armor pieces, which will help that 100 life. Yeah, it's if it's available and the rest is crap, you're gonna take it up.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna take it over all the C rank stuff.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Might even take him over the boss, and Dredge, to be fair. But
yeah, maybe. We'll put. Oh no, we won't put him in the middle. Health is it's okay, but I feel like you're gonna get more value out of all the other stuff. Like the Sisters of Battle heals your units, which is the equivalent of health. Delvers give you more money, so you can buy better shit for your units. This gives you more food, so that you can get a better production, so you can buy more units and get a head start. And this guy's like, you've got 100 health, here's 5 more. And you'll be thankful for it. Also,
interestingly, we've left the 3 rangers as the last one.
That wolf thing is a ranger?
Yep.
Oh.
Tetix, yeah. Now these are gonna it's gonna be interesting because there's half of the races do have rangers, in which case these 3 are severely outclassed. But for the races that don't have a range unit, these 3 are worth their.
Well, let's just do it. Let's just do it that you need a range unit. Otherwise, it's a bit fair. Yeah. That's like saying.
I agree with that.
Because that's the equivalent of saying that like fucking the Endless are the worst fucking thing in the world purely because you're playing the Forgotten. But yeah.
You mean the Ended?
Yes.
The unit is still good enough to have. Like
I don't know. If you're playing the Forgotten, you're not picking the Endless.
Yeah, but if your choice is Dorgashi or Ended, you're taking Ended regardless of if you can benefit from signs or not.
The Dorgashi at least gives you like a bonus that you could use. The Forgotten units are good enough that you don't need the minor faction units. Most of these are based off
which one do you to start with? The Orcs?
Let's do the Orc guy.
Okay, so that's Hernus.
Hernus, eh? +5. What is that symbol?
So +5% attack. So this is the accuracy, and so it affects the accuracy and the roll of what damage you do. So you know how you get.
Oh, that's a cool picture.
Percentages. So
very Lord of the Rings, you still.
So it's actually not a bad bonus because it might actually help you roll higher percentages for actual higher damage.
Oh, I love this quest. This quest is one of my favorite in the game. Conflict resolution.
Is that what it is?
This is the one
where yeah.
That just it spawns wolves versus
And you got to choose which one you want.
Oh my god, look at that. Fighting over a fucking wolf. That's great.
Alright, so the unit.
So yeah, you can. Okay, so running with the hunt. But yeah, I really enjoyed this mission. I thought it was cool. But yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
So the unit stat wise, but I mean, considering it only costs 80, it's actually not too bad. You'll take.
Ooh, they're fast, and winter immunity is not too bad.
Yeah, that's actually quite good. And then you got the selection of longbow or crossbow. So if you do crossbow, you can get the shield on them to if you wanted to take a hit. 3 armor pieces, which is always good.
But is that they still lose damage if they got people next to them? You probably want to move anyway.
I think all rangers have the have that -1 morale per adjacent enemy.
Yeah.
That's by default. Yeah, they're not bad. Like, if you had to choose, I think the overall thing is any one of these three is going to be good if you're needing a ranger.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I mean, we haven't we'll looked at the other. I know the Magpie are probably a bit better. I personally like Tetykes better because it's a wolf with two heads, but and we'll find out if that actually
Well, maybe
is
what we should do
true
is
or not.
we'll see which one will go in B and one will go in a different thing. Let's have a look.
All right, so let's hold off. Let's have a look at the Tetyke then.
Tektite A. So 80 for him.
Wait, what are they called?
Tektikes are called wolves. They are the Jotus. Oh god, they're not off to a good start. +5 vision.
Plus 0.5 vision. Okay,
That's only 0.5. Okay, we're already off to a bad start. Although they do have two heads and they are eating a horse. Wait, they don't seem to...
That is fucking useless.
Ah.
That is. I mean, that might be better once you start getting watchtowers up. I don't know if that will have a nice stack to it, but fuck me.
So wait, because you have to remember the average. I'm guessing the average is about 3 villages, so that's 1.5. And how much is the plan? Like you can get like is it +2 vision? It's +2 for the plan, isn't it?
Oh, okay. So this is actually interesting. So they actually have a shorter range of 2.
Ugh.
But they get free counter. Can counter once more.
But they're twice the production.
But if you equip them with crossbows, it means they can counter twice, even if they get. Oh wow, the production is 180. Holy crap!
I don't think they're surviving long enough to counterattack too many times.
Yeah, true. I mean, how many armor pieces? They get 3 armor pieces, plus the shield. You'd think that would add some bulk, but.
The question is, do you prefer the winter immunity or the free counter? And you got one that gives you better accuracy and one that allows you to see a little bit further. It gives all your units glasses. I'm sorry. This thing is fucking. This thing is C tier. I've ever seen it.
That production number. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's just asking to fucking get wrecked. You can produce 2. It's like, oh, you get 2 attacks off. You can produce twice the amount of fucking things beforehand. Actually, initiative of 30.
With the longer range, which is probably what you more want in a ranger. You don't want the short range. I mean, you'd want better defense and health for something that costs 180. That is basically a short range archer with free counter.
Initiative 28 against. Okay, so it's a little bit faster, but eh.
Oh, it has. Hang on, put that back up on the orc, and I'll compare them.
Okay, let's get our orc.
Just so I can see it. I think so. The Jonas, the Tetyke has an extra 8 health.
That's not much.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for you to click on it.
Wait, this thing is less than half the cost.
Yeah. Hang on, let's go over it. So the Tetyke has an extra 8 health, has the same attack, has 6 more initiative, has 8 more defense, and 4 more damage, 1 less range, at a cost of an extra 100 production.
Also, you have to take into account that the attack, if you induct the orcs, then yeah, that attack is going to be higher. Nah, I reckon Tektykes are fucking...
I think, I think the Tetykes are probably the lesser one, unfortunately. They just need more life or something. They need...
180! God damn!
180 production, and, they got great capabilities, but the problem is, if they're dead, they don't get to use the capabilities.
Yeah, pretty much that.
That's yeah, that was a good eye opener. I mean,
Yeah.
look, you're gonna take them regardless if you need an archer, but fuck me, 180 production. That is insane. You want them to be able to actually cop a hit easier than that.
Alrighty.
Okay, that was a good eye opener. And
That
I
leaves
really,
just the one left.
the Magpie. So, look, the assimilation bonus you're probably not going to worry too much. Plus 10 fortification per pacified Magpie village. I mean,
But look at the hats that she's wearing.
these cost 80 production, so they're the similar cost to the Orcs.
And they get their own mission, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
And their name means Dawn Shire, means Dawn's flower.
Yeah.
Okay, but 10. So yeah, 10. So it's not bad on like.
So
yeah, it's not the worst.
The stats are a bit different to the Orcs. In comparison, I think there's a couple of items that are probably a little bit deeper, but the capacity, the capability or whatever it's called is where it's at. Disease 2 allows the unit to transfer disease to its target, so it's basically poisoning or diseasing.
Oh, is that why my units keep getting diseased? Because they give it to when they die. Okay.
I think so. That's yeah.
I was wondering why my.
Yeah, the problem is if an enemy dies, it will give it to a unit next to it.
Okay.
And if your units are next to it, then they cop it. Because I was wondering why I had the Magpie for some reason half my units were poisoned. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? And then I realized. So it has a what do you call it? A pro and con in its ability.
Oh, you just keep them together.
But to be able to chip through, poison things. But if you get other units that are disease, then you're laughing, really.
Yeah, I try to get these girls whenever I can. This unit is fucking amazing. I probably overvalue it, but still so good.
I think if you're comparing it, I mean, stat wise, they're probably not as good as the Orc, but the capability is where it's at. I mean, if you're playing necrophages, and you get these guys. But fuck me, you are.
What's gonna do more damage, the Orc against a Rumbler, an Orc or this girl?
Probably the girl because of the 15%.
There you go.
Life plus her own damage.
Yeah, and if the unit doesn't have much life, well, you're probably going to kill them anyway.
Yeah, and you just hope that the disease.
So this thing,
else that's not yours.
This thing basically has a Lord Dominic's on her.
So I think the capability or the ability alone, plus the fact that its production is pretty good. The Orc has better stats, but I think this just
this thing nudges it ahead for me. I reckon here. Like I would put it ahead. I would put it ahead of the Rumbler, but the Rumbler has like a better.
No, I think there's nice. I think that's the good spot.
But yeah, you tell like the best. So you look at the tiers like happiness, strategic resource, influence, science, and then you move on to what does this guy give again?
Damage, building cost reduction.
Yep.
Fortification.
So out of the top 7, only 2 of them have. Only one of them is combat related, and one of them is like just a throwaway. And then
I think when you put it together, they're a good unit. Plus, you get the good bonus. That's why they're really good. If they've got a crap bonus, then you want to hope the unit's really good, like the Zuzu unit, or the even the Rumbler. But I mean, the ability is probably pretty good. But if both are garbage, like the Vine Snake, like I've been put in my place, or the unit is just so bad that you can't even make it work any way possible. But I think that's a fair ranking.
Someone did have it. Fuck.
Someone done a tier list on it?
No. Oh, yes. I found something here. Look at there. You go. You can. Has everything here. So what has the most? I don't know what orange means.
Oh, the stats.
Not bad. So where's our shit ass unit? Is it the vine snake? So 100 health, which is about average. Well, it looks like all the range units have low health, so that kind of discounts it. But 48 attack, yeah, it's not bad. 24 defense is very low for a fucking infantry unit, though.
Mm.
So it has so this frontline unit has the same defense as a support. Well, actually, that Geldris is pretty fucking weak as well. But
the Haunts cost 250. Yeah, you still buy it. You're still getting them anyway. There's a reason why they're that
holy
expensive.
shit! That had to have been a nerf. There's no way they would have been that much on release.
Hmm.
Oh man, that's
right.
fucking nuts.
I'm happy with that. The rankings of all them.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find someone else have a tier list. I want to see what someone else's were. Whoa, value.
What?
Look at this. How cool is this thing?
Oh wow.
Highest. So highest overall stats is. Well, it's hard to tell. I don't know why this has that there. That is pretty cool. I'm trying to find someone's tier list though. It's pretty hard for me to find.
Hmm.
I'll keep looking. I wonder if
That's
there's
right.
one here. Ooh, see what someone else's rankings were. Oh, okay. Here's this person's tier list, Brownie.
How close did we get?
Oh. No, not really. Oh, this guy's a little bit different. Okay, so Silix and the eyeless ones.
Oh wow. Well, at least we got those. Oh my god! Look what's in A. The fucking spiders and the Burdecki.
To be fair to myself, I did put the spider up a lot higher than you did.
Yeah, but I canned it because it doesn't even it had the worst initiative ever. What's the point of having good abilities when you can't even use them?
That's a good point. Poor Vine Snake.
Vine Snake, yeah, and he torched the Tetike even harder than we did.
Yeah.
The poor Geldris was a bit lower. I'd say he probably put Ended further down, probably because of the cost. Maybe. I think that's the only reason why I would.
Oh, but still.
But yeah, just the A rankings of that bird. I mean, he must really love his luxury. There's no other way you'd be ranking that unit up there. And the defense from the spider. They're the only reasons why you would do those.
But I had a lot of luck with the spider. Alright, let's see what this person has to say. When was this post? 7 years ago. Ugh. Whatever.
Ugh.
Is this game that old?
Yeah, it's pretty old.
Alright, so this guy, infantry. Harmonites are the best unit, he reckons.
Mm-hmm.
The Rumbler is basically a Harmonite, but worse in every way.
Yep.
So he likes the Rumbler, the Vine Snake, and the Dredge. Okay, this is for infantry. Okay. So the Vine Snake and the Dredge. Yeah, he says it's not worth pacifying the Vine Snakes and the Dredges.
Yep.
It's interesting. I don't know if this must be just for combat. There's no way doesn't look like he's taking into account their bonuses. Oh no, they're good faction bonus, yeah. Okay, ranged. Orcs. Okay, you must have unit if you don't have ranged. Okay, so the Drider, higher health ranged healer.
Get on.
Yo,
Hey, what's happening, Paul?
Oh, I just finished watching a really bad movie with Denzel Washington.
Is he still making movies these days?
If you can call it that, yeah.